Hello guys, welcome to this episode of the Unravel. Today it's an interesting conversation because we want to hit on something that has been bothering me for a while, and it's the Nigerian wedding parade that's ongoing. Recently there's been a trend of people who want to get married doing a lot of engagement parties. So to create a balance, we have on set, both the married and the unmarried. On my side is Goodness. He's married, like me. I'm married. Damilola is yet to be married. Noble is considering marriage. So we are hoping to create a balance in this conversation. So the issue is this. There's been this consistent posting and sharing online of young people yet to be married or about to be married planning engagement parties where the guy plans a party, calls the wife-to-be or the fiancé in, and then she comes into this supposed surprise party and goes all, oh my goodness, and she's all excited, and then he does the proposal and sometimes recites some kind of poem or some kind of love something, And my worry is this, guys. We are already stressed in Africa, in Nigeria, at least in Nigeria, with wedding demands. In Nigeria, you will do introduction, you will do engagement, like traditional engagement, I think. You will do knocking of door. That's what they call knocking of door.
Yes.
You will do white wedding. You will do traditional wedding, right? We can even analyze the need of like white wedding later. But my real issue is that when we're doing introduction, knocking of door, traditional wedding, white wedding, why are we now adding
Reception?
Reception is there. Why are we now adding engagement party? Now you may see celebrities doing this thing. They have the money. Then you see young people. I know of someone who flew into Nigeria to come and plan engagement party, to propose to the girl, and then he flew back. Meanwhile, the girl he came to propose to was part of the planning of the engagement committee, within which they proposed to her. So,
and she was surprised.
And she was still surprised at the wedding she planned.
Yes.
I mean, the engagement party she planned.
And that one they pay me.
All right. So, for the single people, we worry for you the most. Me and Goodness were on the safe side. But Goodness, did you do engagement party for your wife?
Well, I did something, but not a party. But I did something.
Okay. What did you do?
Frankly, I did the whole kneeling down and proposal thing.
In front of how many people?
We were like 5, just friends.
And family.
Well, like 5. Yeah.
In a room or in a restaurant?
Yes. No, it was in a room.
When I proposed to my wife, it was 2 of us alone in the room.
Babe, I don't know if you're
There's no issue, sir, when you are just 2 in the room.
When I proposed to her, she didn't even give me a yes answer. She was like, I will need time
to think about it.
So imagine if I had planned a party.
So was there a ring?
Was there a ring?
Cool.
But that's an engagement.
No,
sir.
not a party.
Okay.
No,
You can engage, but I have no issues about engagement.
Okay.
So I proposed to her with a ring.
Yes.
And in that moment, she said, that please, she will need some time to think about my proposal.
So nobody was shouting, say yes.
No.
Say
and
yes.
First of all,
say yes.
I did provoke because I had traveled with her to Otukpo where my parents lived. There's no way I will carry you to Otukpo and you will not know that I want to marry you.
So.
Sometimes some men can really be funny.
So anyways, me, I'm not funny.
She's just trying to be
I took her to my parents to go and see my parents before I proposed. So when she now says she needed time, me, I can't provoke. Because I brought you here for a reason.
Why did you follow me?
Why did you follow me? Why would you follow a man to Benue State if you don't want to marry him?
To be sure, if when she gets there, maybe your parents might have really say, oh, you brought another lady to the house again, so that she will get the hints that she needs.
So what if I had maybe like all my cousins, my enemies, my friends in one room?
To be a community disappointment.
There, exactly. Then now say, do you want? At least she had the chance to tell me she needed time because she was speaking to me alone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, many of these engagement parties for proposals are not really for proposals. The proposal even happens some cases before the engagement party. But sometimes these young people do these parties, they spend 100K, 50K,
100K,
500K. No, even some people's salaries are like 30K.
100K. So I don't know.
Yes,
he shot the apartment.
And they still spend 50K.
There are some that are budget friendly, sir.
Budget friendly engagement party.
Yes.
Party.
Yes.
So what's the essence of the engagement party?
I think
Well,
that's the problem.
Okay, so for me, I think engagement party is just to like usher into that part where you tell everybody that, oh, we're officially getting married. So you can be dating somebody for a while. So the engagement party is to tell family and friends that, oh, we are getting married soon.
What of the introduction?
Introduction is going to come. Okay, so why do you do white wedding? Introduction is definitely going to come.
White wedding is wedding.
That's the wedding.
Is wedding. Traditional wedding is wedding.
Yes.
So if you don't organize
Yes.
party,
Engagement
your
party. You mean?
engagement, that if you don't organize party, your family and friends will not accept.
No, it's not
that
to
you
accept.
accept
It's to
to
tell
marry.
them. Is
They
that
will not hear.
official? No, that's like is the official.
Then why are you asking again in front of them?
Exactly.
Yes,
Again.
the girl you want to marry.
So what if she says no?
That would be for her to.
Then the money I plan in the party, fam.
Who
Yeah,
will
it's a
who
good
pay the
one.
for
Who
the
pay the
food?
That's why you have to be sure. I think engagement parties are for two people that are very sure they are getting married. So if you are kneel down somebody that is not sure of getting married to you, then it's
If she's sure, why is she not surprised?
Exactly.
she's sure. I said that's the official. You don't understand where.
So the truth is,
Official.
many of
How
these
about-
engagement parties
Yes, sir.
are scripted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with that first. First of all, because I've watched one that the lady entered wearing microphone.
Yes.
You see, yeah, as he entered the surprise party, she was wearing the microphone because the
Are you
video,
shocked?
the video was.
I'm shocked.
showing- You
I'm
got me
shocked.
shocked. Because the video, at the time of the
you
video, that she was clipped to the mic. So when they were wearing you that mic,
What was it for?
what was in your mind that you're going for a talk show?
Okay. So for me, that I'm yet to be married. So those are married. So like speaking from the experience that you both just actually brought up, you said like she was not aware, like you were dating, definitely you were dating, and then you were like your way of engaging her was to tell her we are getting married soon. So I feel that should be the context of engagement or engagement parties. Like it's not supposed to be like where the two parties are actually aware of the fact that maybe they've even done introduction, they've gone to pay the bride price.
No, I mean, you can't do all that before engagement.
Yes,
right?
and that's what
you
you
do
know, like-
engagement first. You ask the lady out first.
Thank you, sir.
Before you do the introduction
I
and
know.
do all of those traditional rites. The issue here is that there's already so much pressure.
Yes.
People are already borrowing money to do traditional wedding, to do white wedding, to do reception.
Yes, sir.
All right, now there's even a trend now where people change 8 times.
Exactly. And this is a problem because, just like you said, sir, you can't do all of those introduction, knocking on the door, and still come and do the
Engagement.
proposal or the engagement. And this makes it worse because there are many of this that actually they do those ones before they come and do the proposal. So
Yes.
it's like they just want to keep with the whole internet buzz,
Just optics.
and just do a lot of unnecessary
Just
things.
optics.
So where's the essence of the party itself? Where is the essence?
There's no essence, really. You know,
Mr.
Noble.
Noble,
because
like
you
to-
are-
No problem is the financial constraint. No, I was looking for you to finish. My whole issue is that you will knock on door, they'll give you long list.
Before you knock on door, you have to engage. No, the girl has to accept.
Wait
your
now. I just want
your
to
proposal.
show you.
Okay.
We must first of all agree that there are certain financial
Implications,
obligations that
You must
is
do.
now accepted that you must do.
Definitely.
So if we start from there,
Definitely.
coming down the cadre, we can now decide which one is no longer important and should be skipped. We must knock on your father's door,
Definitely.
and your uncles will sit down
And give
and
you
give me a
4
long
goats.
list. 4 goats in
Yes.
some traditions.
Yes.
4 goats.
Yes.
4 goats.
Yes.
Is it 4
In
goats?
Tinubu style, 4 goats.
Yes.
Timbers of
So they will
yam.
take your degree.
Yes.
What school did you go to?
In fact, there are some places if you bring the goat and the goat is short,
They will refuse.
they'll refuse the goat.
Yes.
Short
Yes.
goats.
Can't be short goats.
Yes.
There is that. That's compulsory, it will happen. Because, of course, for we that are Christians, we believe that marriage primarily is between the parents, yeah? So that must happen. Your parents must be satisfied, your kingsmen must be satisfied.
That you're
There's-
capable as a man to marry their daughter.
Okay, when I was dating, I was not capable.
Yeah, that's it.
When I
Not
bring-
to marry.
when I bring
Dating is
4
different
goats.
from marriage.
When I bring 4 goats, I'm
We are
capable.
saying the point.
No, no
Okay,
problem. There's no
okay.
problem.
Okay, yes,
There's all of that. Then, typically, because of church influence, there's not going to be a white wedding, which is a little bit elaborated.
Yes.
Now, there's that will happen. Then there's one grand reception that will
Are
happen.
you counting them?
I don't know if you're counting
There are
them.
many.
And let's even be honest. And all of this, not that we're just saying, but usually the guy will bear most of the brunt of the financial perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there is one lady that is very annoyed because you didn't rent a short stay apartment. gather balloons, gather her friends,
Yes.
pay
That's nice.
600k, 400k for a photographer, bring somebody that will blow saxophone and violin, and be escorting her from the gate. Then gather her friends that will help you and lie.
Plus a producer.
Yes, no, that's me.
Damilola, bear in mind that they still have Spinsters Night.
Yes, that's it. That one. Oh,
Yes. Bridal shower.
Yes, that one, brother shower.
Yes,
Yes, is that what they call it?
yes.
Brother shower.
Yes.
They will still do that one with photo session.
yes.
Yes.
Then there's a new one that they add.
They will
Pre-wedding
eat
photos.
They will see it there.
Yes, they will eat. There is even
The
a
wedding photo
costume
is
they
not,
will wear.
it's not new.
So that's not
Uh-huh.
saying that you are
No, I
capable as
mean,
a man.
during my time, there was
With all
no
of
wedding
this.
photo.
Oh, that wasn't.
No. You do your card and post now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's just 12 years ago.
I for marriage since.
So that was what I'm saying. That
At the time, there was nothing like pre-wedding photos.
Only pre-wedding photo now, sir. Minimum,
budget.
It's a
maybe
budget.
300-400k.
Yes.
Because sometimes
It's a
2-3
budget.
outfits, and I don't know what has happened to photographers now, but they are expensive.
Especially when it's a
Wedding
wedding
thing.
event.
Yes.
It's like the budget is times
It just
Yes.
box up.
It's always like that.
So you do pre-wedding photos, you spend all that money.
Then, sir, let me
just suppose that we are getting married.
if the pre-wedding photo is not going to be done in a studio, the lady needs a makeup artist.
Yes.
So if you are going to, okay, I will say definitely. They
Yes,
face me, they say
yes.
definitely.
Yes.
If you are going to off-site locations, the lady will come with a special makeup artist that will escort her off-site.
Yes.
So she switches outfits, the makeup artist retouches.
Yes.
On the wedding day.
Sir, why are you speaking? Are you married? This one,
Now, so if they plan something, you go know it in.
That's right.
On the wedding day, sir, a makeup artist will start with them very early in the morning.
Yes.
Very.
Very early, 4 a.m. Pap, they're there, they're doing. The makeup artist stays all through the day. So as they go through different stages of the wedding, the makeup artist
They arrange.
retouches. And all of this is built into a fee.
In our time,
That is
those
paid.
things happen even in the house of the parents of the bride or in a friend of the bride. Now you must put the bride in a hotel
Sure now.
for this to happen.
Haba.
That's under
The hotel is not even,
80K.
it's not even small room. Oh.
Yes. It has to be a big room
It has to be
now.
a very big room
Yes.
that they will
It has
stay
to
in.
be a very. Why should it be a big room? So you know what? If you have the money, I think if you have the resources.
Yeah, so we're speaking to the larger number of people. There are people that have the money. They can do wedding for 8 days.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
The billionaire's son in India that just got married did for how many weeks? Right? They built a structure
Celebrity.
for
Everybody
just that
should.
wedding. So if you are a celebrity, you are a multi-millionaire, you have the means, your father has the means, your mother has the means,
Yes.
do it by all means.
Okay.
But we're talking about everyday people earning 150K, earning 100K, earning 200K, and then choking themselves to death with wedding budget. How many people truly can afford engagement parties, pre-wedding photos that can really afford it? Weddings that should take 3 million naira now takes about 6, 7, 8 million naira
Exactly.
of monies that people don't have. Then you still depend on your uncles, your aunties, your friends to contribute money, committee of friends, to donate money to a wedding you cannot afford.
Huh.
And if you are smart, would you keep that money and pay rent?
Or build a house.
Or build a house? Or buy land in your village?
And the
Correct.
thing is, as this keeps happening, it's driving a narrative of what an expected wedding should look
That's
like.
where the problem is. So
Yes.
A false narrative.
Yes. It's not the
Because-
pressure it is building as people begin to consider marriage that is
Exactly.
the issue.
Yes.
It's the pressure that it now gives. So everybody's now feeling like if your marriage doesn't meet up to these standards,
standard,
it
yes.
is no longer enough to be. So I now know people that have hidden every event of their marriage because they think it did not reach a standard for their marriage events to be put out there.
And people who have been ready to marry but did not take the step. Why? Because of the budget.
It's not yet time.
Because
Yes.
of the expected budget.
Exactly.
Of course, to fund.
So
this
somebody's
standard, to fund this
postponing
life.
his marriage 6 months because he needs to raise money for engagement party.
Yes.
He has the money to buy 4 goats. oh.
Yes.
He can buy 4 goats.
Yes.
He can buy tuber of yam now.
Yes.
He can see her parents, but he needs 6 more months.
1 year,
He needs
sir.
to take
1 year.
one loan. He needs to sell off his PS5.
Yes.
Oh, really? Are you speaking from experience?
Sell off land.
Let us be sure
No,
that
no, it's the truth. This is all of his PS5
Sell off
because
land.
Yes.
he wants to raise money that will be eaten in one day. Sometimes the people that even come for the engagement party, they don't even like you, sef.
That's true.
I think engagement party should be for your families and friends.
Families.
I just feel like there's no party required for engagement. You want to ask a woman to marry you, take her to a room, to a restaurant, anywhere, and just tell her, I
talk
want to
to
marry
her.
Oh, you must
yes or
engage her.
no.
The party
No,
is
I
too
mean,
much.
What's the
That's
engagement?
the idea.
Go and buy a 3K ring. It doesn't matter. Give it to her. Let her say yes or no. When she says yes, since people want to do pre-wedding photos, when you post it on any social media handle, people will know you are now together.
Since you just said that problem, you say 3K ring. Ring have level.
I know.
There are 3K rings now. There are 3K.
They give you 3K rings, you will take.
You see, the problem now is that no. You get for long.
Look at it.
Sir, I say ring have level.
Yes.
Let me tell you, sir, when it's time for engagement, ladies make special nails. The reason why they do those nails is because at the end of the engagement, they're going to post their finger like this.
They must do like this soon now.
Yeah.
They must do like
At the end of the
Off the
month.
market.
Yes.
What do you mean?
So that ring is a show off
Yes.
to their colleagues and friends.
Yes,
In
and
fact,
their enemies
I have
and uncles that
I've
probably
not married enemy. I
My
enter the
question
conversation.
is that who places the demand
for an engagement
for
party.
an engagement party for a start? Is it the guys that think it's required, or is it the ladies that, without speaking, demand for it, or is it just the pressure of expectations from people?
So I feel, judging by like past, should I say the past trend from our fathers, where you engage people. Like I feel this our generation, we do extra. So if the past generation are always doing, let me say engagement. So we this generation feels, oh, why not make it a party? So I'm not looking into the part where you already did your introduction, paid your bride price, everybody already knows people are getting married, and then you come back to get a scripted engagement party. So I feel this generation, you just feel like, oh, why don't we just go extra? And that's for those that have the, let me say, that's enough financial resources to do it. So I just,
If you have the money to do it,
Who
it's not a
places the
problem.
demand?
so I feel it's both gender.
That's the question.
Yes,
That's the
because if
question.
my dad,
On behalf of all the brotherhood.
Yes.
all
You
the
place a demand as a member of the brotherhood. We have removed you
what do you mean?
as the deputy publicity manager. If as a guy, we place demand,
I totally disagree.
Why?
we
Why do you
totally
disagree?
now.
I disagree because as a man, your main priority is to make your woman happy.
No,
Okay. So
No.
Okay.
no, and that's the mindset for which people enter marriages that
Exactly.
kills the marriage.
Exactly.
Because the man is trying to make the woman happy, and the woman is trying to make the man happy. It doesn't mean that whatever means they use to achieve that is right.
Okay.
Marriage is not for happiness. First of all, marriage is a covenant.
Yes.
It's meant for people that are committed to the act of constant forgiveness. It's a life of sacrifice. You don't take in marriage, you give. It's a life of giving. You give so much that you forgive. And forgiveness is giving in advance. That's what marriage is. So when you not enter marriage expecting that someone will make you happy, you're already setting yourself up for destruction. And that's why, you see, in these marriages that we're spending money for engagement parties and all
Yes,
that,
yes.
they don't last 3 months.
Exactly.
We that did not do it, we are here for over 10 years. Then they'll still do all these things. After 3 months, he hurt my feelings. What happened? He didn't greet my mother. I want a divorce. There's no staying power. You refund my money back to me. Put in voice.
Let me speak for other guys.
Okay, speak for that guys.
I know a lot of guys that we have had to loan money to within our central team to help them reach the demands of weddings.
Yes.
And their wives don't know that they have to pay back those sums, sometimes with interest.
Yes.
Sometimes they have to pay back those sums and they owe those people more than what the possible interest will be.
that's
foolishness.
Because within guys,
That's foolishness.
it's not foolishness. So within the brotherhood, but there's a lot of things that the bros don't tell you. Let me tell you,
Yes.
man. Most guys attend their guy's wedding with extra cash inbound.
Yes.
If my friend is wedding,
Cover for shame.
we are coming there with extra money.
Yes,
you see your
exactly.
guy, we're holding 40, 50K there. There are things we know that will pop up that he doesn't have to settle. And we don't actually have to spend that money. But because of the pressure that is built
pressure
on
is
him,
more.
Yes.
we will spend that money.
Yes.
And the ladies that come to the wedding just sew their high slits, do their makeup. Really?
Look good for you.
Okay, just look good. That's all you needed to do.
That's why he's saying that.
No,
It's
okay.
not all about your happiness.
So now, are you okay? So based on the question, are you supporting the men or we are supporting the women? Like
We're
the
saying
gender?
that there should be some sensibility.
Yes.
Yes.
There should be some sense when we involve ourselves with needless activities, right? If I'm going to get married and have a rent of 700,000 to sort out, I'm going to have to move my in-laws from their village to the center where we're getting married, which in Africa is a requirement.
Sure.
In other countries, you
Yes.
don't have to do that. Those who can come for your wedding will buy their way to your wedding.
wedding.
They will fly there or drive there. But in Africa, you will pay for your in-laws to come.
Yes.
You will pay for your uncles to come. You know what I'm saying, right?
Pay for their accommodation.
You pay for their accommodation
their
and their feeding whilst they are there.
As long as they stay.
But they're coming for your wedding. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you stay.
Those are things that you
These are
must
the
do.
issues.
Like what nobody's saying. Then you are now adding things that you mustn't do. Why must you wear 4 things at your reception?
After they did banner outside.
Also, the
Then there's banner. That banner will not pay them again. Banner will be like maybe 180k, 200k. Why are you putting banner? We know that we came for your wedding. We're already here.
Are we lost?
Are we lost?
This is the
So that you know there were like 10 weddings, you're able to find your way
Only at your reception. Some people in the hall they put banner.
Yes.
Why?
You might not know you can come away and not know who the groom and the
There's
bride
a
is.
problem. So you got married how many years ago? Goodness.
just last year.
Exactly. So what did you do for your wedding? What did you marry? Abuja?
Abuja, yes.
So what did you do for your wedding? Let's coach
Okay.
Damilola a little bit.
Okay. So
Okay, please let me sit down
So
because
I must bring the perspective to the idea behind our position first before I talk about my experience. And the position is that there are a lot of too many unnecessary things that we do in the name of having a wedding.
but you still do it, sir.
And wait. There were things I did.
That you did,
I
yes,
not
I want you to
do.
personalize it. Okay.
There were things I did, and I'm coming there. But the idea is there are a lot of things that we do which we should not do. And this is an SOS call right now. It's a distress call because if we do not put a stop to some of these things, the way we are progressing, we're going to get to a point where weddings are going to be an impossible task
I can't
for the average.
For the average person.
Thank you.
Exactly.
For the average person, it will be an impossible task. I mean, it will be more difficult than getting an MBBS or an LLB.
Yes.
Very difficult. If we do not see, so so first,
Oh, sorry.
I had an opportunity.
Okay, sir.
I had to get to a point where I was considering doing the wedding at the eastern part of the country because my wife is from there.
Okay, if
Like
it's
doing
cost
all.
efficient.
Like doing everything
Okay.
there, both traditional and white wedding. Why? Because of the cost. I had
Definitely, because
I
that's
had
how
to get
that's
to
how
that
you're thinking logically, like, okay,
Thank
this
you.
is okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I had to get to that point. Painfully, there were some of my family members that didn't go for my traditional wedding. Painfully. Why? Because at that time, the cost of flight, I married in December, you can imagine. it was quite crazy.
Yeah.
So the cost of transportation,
December, yes.
the cost of like the logistics, accommodation fees and all of that, bearing that burden. And this is just traditional wedding. And this is, of course, this is not anywhere near the main requirements. Let's not go to that requirement.
list
Let's
of
not
what
go
you
to-
must bring.
Let's not go there.
You mean the way you live?
Four
You
goats.
must bring.
Let's not go
So what is
there.
you living for the 4 goats? I think the
A goat is about 80,000 naira. Record.
Now,
good.
Two for elders.
just imagine. So we had to make a lot of compromises. Why? Because of the burden. And really, most of these burdens are necessary. I'll now give you an example.
Okay,
So
sir.
when we returned back to Abuja, now I told you first, only myself, my parents, and one of my siblings. One. Whereas we are 6 children in our house. Like only one, which was my
That
twin
could
brother.
make
Making you
down
guys
there.
to
Yes. What
Like
is with
my
you?
parents and my twin brother, just one of my siblings, went for the traditional wedding. So when we came back to Abuja, okay, first we had to decide to do it in Abuja. Why? Because the greater number of our people, because
Are here.
yes, are actually here. And so we just needed to do a lot of compromise. Okay, for my wife's parents, let's only bring daddy, mommy, and just 1 or 2 other persons. Frankly, even though other people came that I didn't know, and eventually we just had to. So now coming back to Abuja now. Now the white wedding burden was upon us. First, I must say that I did, like you asked, I did a proposal, but it wasn't a party. I did that proposal
With 5
And-
persons in the room.
with 5 persons in a room. And sir, interestingly,
said
despite
no.
what-
Yeah.
no,
She said
haba.
no, okay.
Well, let me marry.
The point I'm trying to drive at is, okay, she might have said no that day to say yes later.
No.
Why?
Yeah.
They will tell you no.
Interestingly, right? Interestingly, I did that after introduction. I did that, yes. Wait,
Oh, now.
wait, see.
Okay.
See, so,
Why?
So,
No,
wait.
just before you go.
I'll explain.
No,
I was just
explain.
wow.
is obviously because it's a norm.
Yes.
Now see,
You've
yes.
done introduction already. You already
We
did
are driving the
marriage.
perspective.
Yes.
Now see, my wife did not expressly request, but I read the signs.
Uh-huh.
I read the signs from, and not just her, from
Behavior.
a number of persons.
And you know that peace,
until I had to
peace,
receive a
for peace
counsel.
to reign.
Thank you.
Peace
I had to
is a
receive a
requirement.
counsel from my
requirement.
close friends.
Yes.
That's it. This thing is all about giving honor to your wife and all, and let's just do it. I had to get to that point because I didn't want to do it. Honestly, frankly,
So let me ask
because
you,
it was
did she act surprised
Did
when
she
you
act
proposed?
surprised?
Did she act surprised when you
Okay.
proposed to her?
Oh,
in front of
okay.
five
But
people?
was she in the know that you were planning an engagement party?
no,
Wow.
not a party. I didn't plan it.
No, that the engagement.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay. So
The
let's
proposal- the
Yes, the
proposal was-
proposal. Was she
yes.
aware even after
No.
the introduction?
No,
Now
no.
that's
We are
what
just
I'm
returned.
okay.
We are just returned from a conference. We traveled for a journey and just went to see a friend, and it happened in his house.
So when you knelt down to give her the ring, what did she do?
Where
She did like
she
oh my
was.
God.
She was surprised. She
And she had done introduction.
surprised because she didn't know he was planning
that?
it.
She had done introduction.
Surprised. The word act.
Yes.
No, the thing is,
Yes.
okay, no, okay, she's supposed to be
You remove
surprised.
act surprised.
I remove the act surprised. She's supposed to be surprised.
No,
Because,
it's
sir,
act.
I'm engaged to a man.
How?
You've met.
I've followed you to
How-
your
yes,
father's house.
everything.
We
Why
have
is he
done
planning an engagement party?
introduction.
Yes, sir.
He said it to hear him.
We have
There were
done
demands
introduction.
on him from people that this
Yeah.
will need to be done.
Okay.
That's the question we're asking here.
That's the
Why
thing.
does it need to be done?
Yes.
You see what I'm
Why?
saying now? He's gone to do introduction. That means the process of marriage has begun.
Exactly.
That's Africa.
Yes, we
Was it-
started.
You started the
They've
the
accepted
process.
us.
All right. So and then you now come back 8 steps back.
To come and pick that
Why?
step.
To
come
answer
and-
the question, why?
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 Over to you.
Why is
the
that
point.
step so important?
Why? If she didn't say yes, he won't follow her to her father's house.
Do you need to phone a friend?
No, I don't need to put it first.
It's actually because sorry, see this here.
Yeah.
It's why is it better she replies and she gives an answer to this is that there is no escaping it, sir. In fact, even if your marriage is tomorrow,
Yeah.
at some point today,
They will
if you
require
have
you.
not given a ring via the customary proposal system that we know in Nigeria, something has not been done.
Exactly. And see, as strong as my beliefs are, I'm very strong with
So if I won't
conviction.
advise you
Now,
to
see,
propose to
wait.
her after the introduction.
It's a different people.
As strong
Okay.
as strong as my beliefs were, and trust me, I have strong beliefs.
Okay.
If I could budge,
Every
You
man
understand?
Yes.
here.
No.
Every man here will
Yes.
watch. You will watch because I want to get married.
well, good.
Yes, go for it.
But
Advance.
the problem is, this is having a wider scope of impact.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yes.
On people, and right now we're establishing something which is not expedient. We're establishing it as a norm. Now, see, for instance, sadly now, probably some persons that look up to me will say, okay, Thor, if this man can do this, then who are we?
Yes.
Wow,
And
my-
just in-
so that
imagine
was
that
why
way.
I mentioned the past generation. You are fathers, like we've seen it. Oh, our dad did it. So
Is
why
everything
can't?
they did that we are
No,
doing?
that's what I'm trying to say. And then
Yes,
Yes,
is it
okay.
correct? Must it now happen?
No, no, okay, what did our dads do?
they actually engaged them.
How?
But see, this is not about, that's where you're getting it wrong. It's not about engaging.
It's about the party.
It's all about the facade
Yeah, the
and the
everything.
optics.
I'm not even sure my
around
father
the
engaged
engagement.
my mother. That
Yes.
is a blessing at
They
church.
will not tell you. You ask.
Many of those people say,
It's
"I just
church."
say, someone that will papa, the friend,
Yes.
marry let our son marry your daughter. That's all.
You just agree.
It's
Call her
not arranged
inside,
marriage.
she'll come out. She will just see them.
Yes.
When you say changing, but it was not even church things.
Yes.
You will go to church, tell the pastor that you've seen this lady, you want to marry the lady. The pastor will be the one that will do the engagement,
Yes,
the one that will
yes.
call
You
this
call
one
the
joy.
committee and
There was not
say,
even
yeah.
any ring and kneeling down,
So
nothing.
if you want to propose to a woman with a ring, there's nothing wrong with that. You can
Okay.
propose with a ring. If you want to buy a $1 million ring, if you can afford it,
You can.
There's
Why
nothing
not?
wrong with that. The issue here is that when you now begin to tilt your life
To
and shape
that
your
trend.
life to public expectations, it will wound you eventually. Because when you are done with that engagement, you'll not be under pressure that you want to go to UK for summer holiday because everyone is doing it.
Doing it.
Right? And you will feel that pressure that my husband must own a car because everybody is showing their husband's
Once you are
car.
married.
You know what I'm saying? The thing here is how we are corrupting cultural norms by mounting pressure on ourselves for things that are irrelevant.
Yes, sir. and we have no conviction for this.
There's no
Yes.
conviction for it.
What is the source?
Yes, if you want to
Of-
do it
of this
and you can
proposal
afford it and you have
what's
the excess,
source?
you can do that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the source?
Yes.
Where did it start from? Because if you want to build conviction on something, you must know its origin.
Okay, so we actually embrace some norms like the white weddings, which is not part of our cultural stand. You know?
So that's why.
So that's why they even engage in this one too,
But that's why
sir.
they don't know. See, cultural norms like white wedding may not be essential, and I believe it's not essential. We can't go into that now.
Yeah.
And this is how it began. We're just trying to stop the
This.
reputation of something
Because
that isn't
the time
right.
this proposal will now become as strong
It will
As
be
white wedding.
normal.
as
Yes.
strong as white
Then
wedding.
another problem I have with it is that it's not just that it's happening, is that there is now a level it has to be at for it to be accepted.
Yes.
So people reject proposals because he didn't do it as she wanted.
Yes.
That's where the problem is.
See,
It's not becoming that strong.
Sir,
How
you
strong-
are bringing me to a point.
Wait, you-
Remember, I didn't want to kneel down, Frank.
But you knelt.
Wait.
Okay,
wait
sir.
now. But I was reading the signs that it would be like how
Pride.
do you-
Yeah, I mean prideful.
Yeah,
How do you stand to propose?
How do you start to give me a ring?
Why can't you
See,
stand to
wait,
give you a
see,
ring?
See, what is wrong in standing to give you a ring?
Okay,
What
so
is
so
wrong?
that's why I say there are so many. Okay, so you ask for the source of it. We
Yes,
don't really
what-
know it.
what's-
So I think it's those.
No,
You
don't really know. Continue from that line of-
I know.
Things that
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
know.
We need to don't know. Your wife, but did you know? Like previously, like before.
Now, see, okay.
Wait
okay,
now,
just
wait.
just a touch
You've
on-
you've
wait
seen
now.
the white people
I will
kneeling
tell
down
you,
to give
just
the
a
ring.
touch,
Okay.
just a touch on white wedding. The reason I did white wedding is because of the spiritual thing that happens in the white wedding.
Was that what was done in those days when people want to get married? Was white wedding inclusive?
White wedding is a borrowed culture.
Yes, that is that.
People-
When the white wedding when
Yes,
we engagement.
so-
Kneel down is a borrowed culture, sir.
But we're not trapped. in
Okay.
Yes,
How?
right?
Should we keep
The white man does not bring four goats.
Yes, it doesn't do traditional wedding.
Sir, if you are
Traditional
borrowing,
wedding
sir,
is
if you
their
take,
traditional wedding.
sir, if you take,
borrowed culture.
Yes.
now, sir,
Should we keep borrowing? See where
Do it-
yes,
Nigeria's
if people-
economy is.
Thank you people.
Should we
With
keep borrowing?
1,000.
Not 200.
1,200. We are borrowing more things.
Yes.
We are borrowing white wedding and general traditional wedding. Suddenly now we are borrowing high engagement.
Borrow it, then we borrow it back, and then we now make it hybrid.
Yes.
So when we borrowed white wedding,
you will not include it with the one you already have.
wait now, the white man and the white woman
want
does
the
not
husband
change
to borrow
8
it.
times during
No, I don't want
sex.
you
Yes.
to borrow
Sir,
back from me.
Now we have remixed it.
Sir, can I say something? In the last, maybe in the last 5-6 years, when I was in the university and all that, I used to think that court weddings were something that just happened one-off. Suddenly now, white wedding, court wedding is almost as important as white wedding.
Yes.
We didn't bring this conversation now.
Yes.
You will bring 4 goats. I will keep saying it. You will do white wedding.
Yes, we do traditional wedding.
Now, sir, you now need an outfit to do court wedding. I don't even know where it came from again.
yes.
I used to say before that
a white gown.
a white gown,
Is a what they call the
fascinator of veil.
Facilitate.
You
I
need
don't
an
remember
outfit.
if my wife and I took
Facilitator.
any picture during our court wedding, because all that we wanted for the court wedding was just a paper.
You will take picture.
I can't remember what we
You
wore.
will
I don't
ready.
remember who followed us there.
In fact, now,
But she will remember. So these are the memories we
Sir,
hold on
sir,
to.
that means
We all have.
I must have interfaced. Wait,
Yes.
I must have interfaced with about 4 cameramen, like 4 different cameramen.
And you
Yes.
cannot even remember what they look like.
During
Yes.
my own wedding, I'm
Yes.
just trying to count now.
Yes.
I count pre-wedding photos. A
Yes.
different one.
Yes.
It was a different arrangement.
Arrangement.
Different payment.
Yes.
So I count court wedding. It
You
was a
paid.
different one.
Yes. Exactly.
Different arrangement.
Yes.
Different payment. If I count,
Traditional wedding.
no, it's up to 5.
It's-
if
yes,
I
it-
count
yes.
the production,
Yes.
okay, there was camera.
Of course now.
yes, now
There will be.
That's-
Where did you camera for introduction?
Yes.
To snap our own uncles.
No, they won't change. No, they won't change you for the production.
Wait,
traditional
wait,
wedding.
camera they come introduction.
Yes.
Now, camera-
So you should start adding it to the list of the cameras.
That's 3.
I don't feel ready this year again. I don't have this one now. We don't talk this one. This one not them
Add
like
it to your budget.
White wedding 5.
Yeah.
this.
It's ridiculous, and I really think that it's
So
something.
can I borrow your camera crew?
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I really think that we need to reconsider our mindset
Yes.
towards many things, because the pressures of life will come in various phases.
Definitely.
It's going to be marriage today. Tomorrow to be about your children's birthday parties. Even now we see that
Sir,
happening.
before that one.
It's a trend. Yes.
What's that one?
Baby bomb. Yes.
Yes.
Baby shower.
Baby shower is going from baby
shower.
shower. We need an episode for that one.
Yes.
So
So
why
much
should
red.
we reveal now? Like
Yes.
it's the same thing.
What about that picture that they will go and wear white
So
in studio?
much.
So I think borrow cultures, like we said.
And this is
These
why
are
homes are
That's my
cracking.
question.
But this is why homes
So
are
photographer
cracking,
go just dey blow.
you know.
Thank you.
Because a man will not spend all this money.
I didn't even know
I'm
that
married.
I actually did 5.
Yes,
No, as you just talk this one, I need to go. Now, for I prepare for.
Goodness, if you sit down and do the math of your wedding, you'll be
provisions were
surprised.
by God.
I didn't
Provisions were made available for those 5.
She is a single girl now. Her name is Damilola. If you want to marry her, provisions be considered.
My landlord don't raise rent. Provisions are raised by God.
Yes.
Are made available.
All right, so let's
Okay.
bring this to a close. I think we can bring it to a close now because of time. So, I mean, we hear you,
More with
Damilola.
outside.
All right. I think that.
So he said he's going to beat me outside.
No, please, no, I don't support that. I don't support that. I also let us meet outside to finish it up.
You know, I think
See,
that
don't eat your tomorrow today.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't do that. The journey of marriage is very far. The journey of marriage does not respect ceremonies,
Yes, sir.
right? And there are things that cannot sustain a home. When you begin to breed a future using tools that will fail, whatever that future is, it's also bound to fail.
Yes.
Because the things you're using to build it are going to fail. They will not last, right? The most important thing to know about marriage is that you're stepping into a covenant. And the same way you go to school and get a degree and you do other things that are very critical in your life, there's very little ceremonies around them.
Yes, very little.
All right? It takes the work. It takes the labor. But in marriage now, nobody wants to do the work and the labor, but they want the parties, they want the ceremonies. Why do we have more divorce rates today? That wedding takes too much from us. Our parents spent far less.
And they stayed
And they stayed for 50 years, 80 years.
We
in
are
marriage.
majoring on the minor.
Yes. And we now minor on the major.
Major.
All right. So I think
people
that
have bad character.
very terrible character.
Bad character.
Very
The collective
bad, but you
feel
saw
good.
it before you knelt down.
Yes.
Give her the ring.
But also,
Yes,
the
sir.
ladies also see bad character and they ignore it because he knelt down to give the ring.
Exactly.
Ah,
Exactly. That one, it ain't that. You see people.
I have a response to that one. That will be another episode. No.
And then many of them judge a good man by what he can afford.
she said in the beginning now. She said that if I didn't bring 4 goats, I wasn't capable now. People heard it now.
No, that's what I mean, to show the parents that
Yes.
it's not for me.
It's
It's not for
Yeah.
me.
This
It's for
has
my
been
parents.
my all-time high problem. Because the thing is, most of these people, they only judge from today. They only know today. No matter how big your eyes are, you can't see tomorrow. You only know.
There are many men who are qualified to marry.
Yes, and they have good vision,
Very good vision. But they can't afford this
good
thing.
purpose.
And even when she talks about our parents that wed, you will hear stories of people that they didn't have enough to wed, but the parents trusted the guy
Yes.
and gave him their daughter.
Yes.
You heard that people don't want to call him. There are so many of them. You say,
Yes.
So
they
when
gave them the daughter to marry
I
because they knew that
understand.
this guy had the vision, the goal. These things
Take care of
mattered
their child.
before.
And
Yes.
it's vision that matters.
Yes, it mattered
Yes,
before.
yes,
Now
yes.
it doesn't.
matters more.
If you want to marry now, but just come with Benz.
Yeah.
That's how you will just dress if you enter.
They borrowed
There's
Benz.
a respect.
Even they borrowed
They can't
Benz.
talk to you again.
Borrowed Benz.
Borrow it, just come.
Borrowing.
No, people should not borrow.
We keep borrowing.
If they say you bring 4 goats, you negotiate and be like, sir, please, I cannot afford this 4 goats. I will bring 1.
But you want a engagement party?
But why you engagement party? I should be negotiating goods.
When people of rice now, restaurant is about 8,000 naira. All right, guys. Goodness, thank you very much.
Thank you
Damilola
so
and Noble.
much.
So we have to come to a close now on this episode. Nothing here is conclusive, but we're just saying that whatever you do, have sense. If you want to do engagement party, if you don't want to do engagement party, the journey of marriage is very far. Whatever you are doing, have sense. Goodness and I, we don't marry. Noble and Damilola, you meet outside. All right. Thank you,
One more
guys. God
photographer.
bless.
Just to add this introduction photographer. Now that's
All
all.
right, we're done.
Thank you.